Welcome to the Neurotic News Show. Sort of the Neurotic News Show. We
Yeah.
don't call it that, do we? We call it Neurotic. Yeah, just call it Neurotic News. But I just thought it'd be funny to call it the Neurotic News Show. That'd be good. A show where we have guests and like an actual show. Something to think
Yeah.
about for the future. How are you? Are you good?
I did sleep good last night.
You slept well?
Yeah.
That's huge.
Like a
That's
good
huge.
9 hour.
You had a 9-hour sleep?
It was incredible.
I'm jealous.
The night after insomnia.
Beautiful. Because you build, I find I build up like a camel. I'm carrying insomnia for days and then I have one big sleep.
It's almost worth it for that.
Well, the thing is, man, is like a good sleep is the closest I get to like a drug.
Yeah.
Like if I've slept well, I feel like I'm on a drug. Like it's better than just it's like coming for me.
Just all day.
Yeah, but for a day.
Yeah.
I'm edging for a day after a good sleep.
You start choosing positive pathways in your brain.
Like
Like, when you get to that, what do you call that?
the fork in the
road.
the fork in the neural pathway.
Yeah. There's like the negative one and the positive one.
Well, see, mine is like a highway, like a really well trodden LA 8-lane highway is the negative. And then there's a turn off onto a dirt track that you get out of the car and you walk.
Right.
That's the positive.
Like when you're on the coast and you're going trying to find a hike,
Mm.
but it's hard to find.
Yeah. It's hard to find. Then you got to get out and walk for a bit and you got to check your map. No reception. It's like, I think it's this way to, hey, it's okay to forgive yourself.
Yeah, right. And the other 8 ones are just a choose your own adventure of negative spiraling.
Yeah, there's many lanes.
Yeah. And that's insomnia. It opens up those 8 lanes and makes sure you're there.
Highways open. No roadworks.
Yeah. You can carpool with a friend where they indulge
There's
in
no
neurosis.
traffic. It just goes. It's effortless.
Yeah. A lot of friction to get on that nature path.
Yeah, difficult and so on.
I have noticed when you're in your 20s and you do like a nature walk, you just do it and you don't notice all the plaques that describe the
Right.
nature and stuff. But as you
Right.
get older, it's just all plaques. Like you're just reading the plaques that describe how like a kookaburra forages in that tree. And
I see what you're saying. You're saying when you go on a nature walk, when you're young, you're actually looking at the nature. You'd never stop to
Yeah.
read the information about the tree or the track or the area or the native birds and shit or like something interesting about. You'd never stop to look at a plaque.
yeah,
And then you get a little bit older and you stop. Like I'm at that age now where I stop and read a bit. I'm like, no, I am curious
yeah,
about what this old saw mill was used for in this forest.
oh, a bushranger used to live in it in the 19th century.
Yeah.
For 20 years. That's, you'll see a 60-year-old read the whole thing.
Yeah, 60-year-old is not even looking anymore. They're just plaque.
Yeah.
They're just like, and ironically, brain plaque as well.
They got plaques on their heart and their brain.
And they're reading plaques.
Yeah.
What is it? Plaque and plaque?
Plaque. I think it uses the same
Plaque.
spelling.
Plaque.
They're reading that plaque. They'll read the whole, when it's got like a bunch of plaques?
Right.
It's like that you can see a whale on this plaque. This
Right.
plaque describes a shrub that's underneath you. And then another one's like, and there's some wild birds
Yeah.
that use this as a filtration system
Mm-hmm.
stream that's,
Right. So if you're on a nature walk and you're in your 60s, you're stopping, you're basically there for the plaques.
yeah, the nature's getting in the way of the plaques,
Right.
I think. Almost.
And then when it's the opposite when you're young.
Yeah, when you're young, you don't even notice there's plaques.
Yeah.
They just get unlocked.
You're almost annoyed that people are stopping and looking at them.
Yeah. You have
Which-
to truly feel nothing to read the plaques.
Yeah.
Like you have to be post
Yeah.
excitement.
Post present in the moment.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, I'm not going to be present in the fact I'm in a forest. Let's read about the local fauna
Yeah.
instead of actually enjoying it, which sums up a lot about Basically, I think like as you get older, you're more interested. As a man, you're more interested in infrastructure than you are. Like you use talking about infrastructure as a way to not talk about feelings.
Yeah.
Like men will be like, yeah, got the veranda done, and what we used is this type of pine that we had cured with a certain, varnish, and it's come up really well. Sanded down, varnished it. It's a waterproof coat. It's hardwood, so yeah, it's really great. I'm deeply alone. I'm very alone at this point in my life, and I'm sad. And we extended the deck around the corner so that it reaches the other door as well. And so that took a bit more work to keep that level, but we got a spirit level and just made sure that we leveled it out just, to extend the deck around the corner.
We got a spirit level. My spirit is dead. I don't have any spirit level.
Right.
And then the other guy just ignores it and he's like, do you paint it twice?
How many coats?
Yeah.
Because you like I just saw it before we were at the cafe before we came here, and they were building an extra deck at the cafe, and all the middle-aged guys would point out, going, "Yeah, I reckon they're extending it there. They're going to knock down that handrail and just have a longer open deck."
They were grateful that there was some renovation happening just to redirect
that
from the low-lying despair.
Yeah. They want to know how much it's going to cost, what materials they're going to use, how long it's going to take. They're going to extend the deck, they're going to paint it. They're going to paint it 2 coats with Whisper White by Dulux. It's a nice coat, it's a nice paint. It's an off-white. It's got a bit of warmth to it. I will not ever feel fully present with my wife. I lay awake at night watching her sleep. I'm
surrounded by people, but I'm alone.
I'm alone in a crowd. That's what it feels like at the moment.
A crowd of people who know me quite well.
Kids have left home, and I feel a type of alienation that I've never experienced. And
it's only getting worse.
And they'll they'll probably make sure that they treat the pine wood so it's prevents termites.
So it's like a Wagyu steak of infrastructure detail interspersed with bouts of angst.
Yeah,
that are not recognised by the other person.
Well, I guess the lonely bit is internal.
Yeah, that's the subtext.
That's the bit they're not. Yeah, that's the subtext.
It's weird because I didn't even notice the shape of a table until I was 35.
Right. That's an interesting thing to say, what you just said there.
Yeah. Like now I'm
what
very
does that mean?
Aware of the shape of a table, like a circular table, your elbows are going to fall off the sides and stuff.
And you think this is part of you getting older into the infrastructure phase?
Yeah, I think when you're in your 20s, you're just floating through. So you're not the shape of the table. It's like the plaques thing.
Right, yeah.
In the rainforest or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like now you're just so full of energy that you're not noticing the table or how uncomfortable a chair is.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't think, oh, this chair doesn't have a back support. Like this will trigger my scoliosis. You're just sitting on a stool without.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but then all of a sudden the infrastructure becomes important.
Now I need a square table or I'll start crying. Like it's gonna affect me.
You start crying.
Yeah. I think it's really important to have a square.
You see what's happening? There's a theme to all this. As the older you, like in your 20s, the weird shit you do is quirky and fun. I know I've talked about this before. It's quirky, but when you're older, that it's interpreted as madness. Young person does something, it's quirky. 60-year-old does it, it's mad. My dad, I got a photograph from his partner of him lying on the roof on a mattress trying to fix the gutter, lying on the mattress hoping it's enough grip so it doesn't fall to his death. Mad. 20-year-old lies on the roof, lying on a mattress, look at the stars. Quirky.
Hopes to be caught doing it.
Hopes to be seen. So like, she's quirky.
You're doing it in your 60s. You hope no one sees you doing it.
She's got a garden in the backyard she tends to all the time. She keeps stealing cactuses from the neighbor. They don't notice, but she takes cactuses and she's got a cactus garden. That's a bit unusual, isn't it? She's quirky. Dad jumps a fence in high vis, pretending to be a worker, and poisons the neighbor's trees. You're not like, oh, he's quirky.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Yeah, you're calling the police.
Yeah.
And then he's saying he didn't do it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like a fun story. Like, yeah, he was
Right.
in high vis. Like, people, you'd kill for a story like that in your 20s, right?
Right. Yeah, that's
To
right.
spice up your character.
Well, on the same note, like if you're in your 20s and you get blind drunk, like I remember we were on a campus at uni that had a forest around it. And I remember getting blind drunk and waking up in the forest, and getting woken up by a ranger. And it was just the greatest story. Like, fuck, damn, I got so drunk, man. He passed out in the fucking forest. And everyone's high-fiving. Like, fuck that, dude. That's fucking crazy, dude. You're fucking crazy. Exactly the same story in your 40s. Damo, he's just been drinking a lot. And he's getting drunk these days at nights. He just gets drunk and he doesn't know where he is. He gets disoriented and, he just got
It's
so
sad.
drunk. Yeah, he passed out in the forest and the police found him and, we're just really worried. He's got kids and
we disinvited him from the wedding.
yeah, we can't invite him to functions.
But yeah, if he comes to the function, like he's gonna knock over the finger food display
Yeah.
because like he's knocking into shit now at this point because he's got like the tremors,
Yeah.
like the DTs, where he's shaking from withdrawals at functions and
Mm.
then relapsing and
Yeah.
like just falling into tables.
He shit himself.
Yeah. And
But if you shit yourself at a uni party, it's like, holy fuck's fucking crazy, dude. Everyone's talking about it laughing.
yeah,
Shit yourself in your 40s at a function,
lifetime ban.
Yeah.
From-
Cancer research function, fundraiser, dinner where you're meant to buy raffle tickets to help support the charity and you shit yourself and pass out and knock over the finger food.
Yeah, you
Put
get
your dick in the mashed potato, out you get, mate, you're banned. You lose friends, friends will never talk to you again and so on. And uni, you put your dick in the mashed potato at the party, you make friends.
yeah.
Fuck that Steve, man, he's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, in your 50s, you just get deregistered as an orthopedic surgeon. Like they just take you off the list and like bar you from practicing. Like it's a different,
Yeah,
there's consequences, and ramification. Like then you have to move out and live in a separate area of the house.
Right.
Like you're in a granny flat and so on.
Yeah, till the divorce goes through.
Yeah, pissing into San Pellegrino bottles to avoid your ex. Who's in the main house.
Who's in the main house with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, that was funny, wasn't it?
So 20-year-old gets pissed, knocks over the finger food, pisses in the corner. Legend of the party, crazy, gets a reputation as the crazy party guy. 60-year-old, same thing, divorced, has to move out of home, deregistered as an orthopedic surgeon.
Yeah.
It's
Disgraced
different,
and so on. Just disinvited from a series of events that are upcoming. Like
Disgraced and so on.
he's not allowed in a gazebo.
Can that be on your gravestone?
Disgraced and so on. It is good. And so on. Just it's a nice little. It's a good. It's like you just assume the rest.
Fuck. I don't know why it makes me think of this. That movie we saw, Perfect Days,
Yeah.
which I love, by the way. It's by a really famous director. He's awesome. It's a brilliant film, artistically, critically acclaimed film about a Japanese toilet cleaner.
Yeah. I call it Jiro Dreams of Skid Marks
Right, yeah.
because it's like he's the same detail as that sushi chef, but for skid,
Yeah.
for cleaning the skid marks off porcelain. Like it's the same love
Right.
and attention.
Right, yeah.
To the
Just for
craft.
people, because it wasn't a popular movie for people listening. It's about a Japanese guy who lives alone. He has no possessions. He lives a very minimalist life, and he gets up with real honor and diligence the same every day and cleans toilets for a living and takes great pride in doing his job well, even though no one else notices. It doesn't pay well. It's not a glamorous job. There's literally no benefit to him doing it except his own pride and his sense of satisfaction. It's a beautiful movie about a guy who has a very, very simple life, and it shows the beauty of his simple life.
Like he listens to the Beatles
Yeah.
after like professionally cleaning this toilet to just to an immaculate level of detail.
To an immaculate level of detail that isn't necessary, but he does it because it's how it's his purpose in life, and he takes pride in that.
They should have a sequel where he goes to Australia and does Australian toilets.
Right? Not like
Oh no,
no,
not like this.
what is this? No.
Just a meth shit diarrhea. Just you know when you go in, it's just on the walls.
Yeah. Oh,
Like it's like The Shining
You
but with
feel-
diarrhea. Like yesterday, I went into one where someone had just shit next to the toilet, like
Yeah.
shit on the floor.
yeah. I think it's straight because I feel like there's a Japanese diet and there's a bit more. Yeah.
It comes out like sashimi.
Yeah.
Like it comes out like respectfully, I reckon, out of the ass.
So you think it's coming out of the ass going, konnichiwa,
Thank you,
arigato.
Deska. Like it comes. Like I don't think they fart. I think it's just thank you, Deska. As the sashimi
Yeah.
slides out effortlessly
Arigato.
and
Yeah.
flushes.
Yeah.
Like, because in that movie, he's just cleaning toilets that were pretty much clean.
Yeah.
He's just putting that extra 1% on the download bar to make it 100.
Yeah. No, he wouldn't the movie wouldn't work in Australian toilets.
Well, he's just using like a set of tweezers to pick up a single pube. And he's like, oh. And then he takes it out and like, toilet's clean. Like it's that level.
I like the effort of like you're picking up the pube.
Well, there's just so much respect and dignity and just good diet. You know, they're eating seafood. They're not.
There's honor, there's dignity, there's respect and stuff in the cleaning of the toilets. There's the diets are not a Western diet, and they take pride in their public spaces. They're pretty, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he couldn't move to Australia and live his simple, beautiful life, and then no, why you do the big meta shit? Wow.
Not like that. Not like this. Like he's just really disappointed as he goes in.
Oh fuck.
Like you're not going to listen to the Beatles after that, are you?
Nah. Here comes the sun. Da, da, da,
Penny
da.
Lane, Penny Lane, Penny Lane. Like after just like diarrhea in handprints on a wall,
Yeah.
and you're just scrubbing that with a toothbrush because there's no respect.
No respect.
Because someone's eaten like 15, 4 and 20 pies because their appetite came back after a meth binge
Right.
with like an ice break
They're
and
coming
then
down.
sprayed it out in like a projectile mist.
It's the
So
movies.
it's like
It's like a car accident.
It really is.
happened.
Some of these
No,
bathrooms.
they are. Yeah. No, they're despicable.
It's
I guess the point is it's a different culture, isn't it?
if that one's called Perfect Days, what?
Nightmare days.
Imperfect evenings. Like that's the name.
yeah,
of it.
yeah. It's the sequel.
Jiro dreams of diarrhea.
Oh fuck! We probably just lost a few
It is
subscribers.
weird with Australian, like, because you watch Star Wars, like there's so many accents in the Australian in the Star Wars.
Too many aliens.
Yeah, there's and there's like I just noticed because they've got all these accents, and then but Ben Mendelsohn is in the Andor,
Yes, he is.
and he does a
Star Wars series.
Star Wars. He does a British accent.
He's the only one they changed.
Yeah,
They got American. They got Boba Fett, who's New Zealand. He was the guy from Once Were Warriors. He's Moldy.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
kept it.
He
Kept
got to
his
keep it.
Everyone, even like European
I saw
accidents.
stormtroopers, bruh.
Yeah. Oh no, not like that.
We're gonna have fish and chops, and then fight the stormtroopers, bruh.
There's six stormtroopers coming, bruh.
That he got to
can't
keep
remember.
that.
He got to keep that.
Like he got to
It's
keep his Once Were
ridiculous.
Warriors
Yeah,
accent,
yeah.
and then the Australian, they're like, nah. I mean, there's an alien with 8 dicks on its head.
Yeah.
That's fine. Speaking
Big
Klingon.
tube, fucking nose sticking out and sucking weird blue milk out of a tube.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But Australian accent is too
better-
far-fetched.
Yeah. He's like, just make it British for this one, mate. We don't want to fucking lower because the Australian accent in Hollywood is not. It lowers the quality of everything it's in.
Yeah. If Ben Mendelsohn was like, we're going to blow up the Death Star, mate.
It's not the same ring to it, does it? Yeah.
That's the Kiwis get to keep it
Yeah.
because it's like a nice little
Mm.
cute thing.
Yeah. The Australian accent's got a thickness to it that's not desirable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but they had that one where it was like, not like this, the tricks don't work. Remember that guy? They do all the other accents.
Oh, you mean the pod racing floating fly thing?
Yeah.
Hey, the kid, there's a good deal. That everyone said was anti-Semitic because
Yeah.
he had a hook nose and a Jewish accent.
Yeah.
And was bargaining over tiny amounts of money.
He was voiced by Netanyahu
Yeah. Netanyahu remoted in for the voiceover.
from Tel Aviv.
It's true though. People accused the character in the Star Wars Episode 1 Phantom Menace of being anti-Semitic because it had a hook nose, a big nose, and had a Jewish accent and was haggling over tiny amounts of money. I feel like a lot of the Jews were like, I didn't really join those dots until you... It's almost anti-Semitic to say it's anti-Semitic.
Yeah, because then
I'm
someone's
like,
doing
that looks
detective
like a
work.
Jew. That's meant to be a Jew, right?
That is way worse.
It is, eh? Because it's like a fucking alien. So you could just go like, it's an alien with a crazy accent.
I don't know what's more insulting, that or just saying the Australian accent just has no place in the galaxy.
Well, they have the Japanese accent, just going
Yeah.
back to the Jiro Perfect Days thing.
Yeah.
You remember that, right?
Yeah.
There's the Trade Federation.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
They've got
they're
the whole
like,
UN.
Yeah. They're like, oh, the Jedi are coming. Oh, no. Like they made them Japanese.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird how they made it like a Japanese race, alien race, but they're clearly Japanese. They dress Japanese. They sound Japanese. It was a bit of a wig. It's a bit strange, that Star Wars, when they try and make nationalities alien, if that makes
They
sense.
do, yeah.
Yeah, because that's true, right?
I guess like
They're eating sushi.
yeah,
Like
like
sometimes even their food's weird. Like,
very seafood based.
yeah.
I've noticed.
Mm.
Like there's a lot of eels and
Because the
Stuff.
Wookiee's Down syndrome, right? I'm not trying to be offensive, but
the Chewbacca.
yeah.
I think he's
Like he's mentally disabled.
I think he would be able to wear a sunflower lanyard.
Right.
You know those lanyards for the invisible disability?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I've heard you mention them many times.
You can wear one on the train and they have to stand up for you.
Really?
Or yeah, and if you wear one at the airport, they push you forward.
What?
It's like being in the carpool lane.
Really?
Like you get. I mean, I feel like the sunflower must be a bit annoyed that it's being used
right.
when the
for
rose gets
invisible.
to be used for like love and
Right. And then the poppy for war,
yeah,
which I guess has gotten pretty good.
sunflower you can be
Significance.
for a guy with a micro penis.
Do you reckon that's an invisible disability,
Definitely.
a micro penis?
Definitely
Mm.
invisible by because you're wearing trousers.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you're in a nudist colony.
Yeah, well, you were
That's
saying that
visible.
you isn't there a beach you go to that's a nudist beach,
Yeah,
and people just walk around with micro penises,
yeah,
and they're okay with it,
yeah,
which I think is healthy. So they
Yeah.
should.
yeah. I go fully clothed.
How do they feel about that?
I think they hate it.
Do you
I
get
just-
some weird looks that you're there clothed?
Yeah. You wear like I wear a lot of clothes.
Right,
Yeah.
extra layers.
Extra layers.
You're going in like a ski suit kind
Yeah.
of thing,
Ski poles. Equipment.
just as much as possible to say there's no way I'm getting my dick
I'm
out
not
here.
doing it. I won't capitulate
Right.
to this colony that you've created.
You don't. It doesn't interest you at all. Nudist colony, the freedom of it, the idea of it.
I just think it's the word colony is interesting for nudist because it brings to mind like Captain Cook.
Yeah, colonizing.
Because Captain Cook started at the beaches too.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Just
Yeah.
like the nudists, they started the beach. What if they start colonizing the central business district? Like the JB Hi-Fi.
So you're saying
You
there
know?
might be micro penises might colonize us from the beach?
Just an interesting term.
It is, isn't
loaded.
it?
It feels loaded, doesn't it?
Well, it's not really a colony, is it? Colony implies they're living and building, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Not just getting their tits and dicks out and lying in the sun.
There's no tits.
We're all fucking colonies then, aren't we?
Well, there was a dude with a micro
What do you
penis.
mean there's no tits?
This is just dudes.
What?
Yeah.
It's a male only.
No, it's for everyone, but I think
The women just like, we're not falling for this.
yeah. It's not. I mean, there's a dude that is creating like a water filtration system. There's a weird doomsday prep
There's a bit of that
overlap.
to it. Right.
Like you feel like they're prepping
Right. Okay.
for when like the asteroid hits and there's no clothes stores.
Really? You think it's a bit like rock climbing or something. Sometimes there's weird tinges of other, there's a bit of a doomsday preppers vibe to that too.
Indoor rock climbing or out?
Yeah, both. Because I don't know. It's just one of those things today where groups sort of cross-pollinate.
Yeah.
Like in the 90s, you're a punk. But now it's like he's a punk but also runs a startup.
Totally.
You'll totally
Yeah.
get overlap. So it wouldn't surprise me if nudists were into doomsday prepping.
I was at an indoor rock climbing place. I saw a fully ripped guy and he had a neck tattoo of the molecular structure for caffeine.
Fuck.
That's
Yeah.
what it is, eh?
Yeah.
Like he's probably got a PhD in like
Yeah.
environmental chemistry or something, some
Yeah.
obscure.
But he's a weightlifter.
Yeah.
That's an unusual. Yeah. That's not unusual these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 50s, everyone would have just been like, that's a sports guy.
That's a sports guy and that's a scientist. And
It's
he's
a
wearing
nerd.
Yeah. And he's wearing
Nerds
a
aren't
lab
allowed
coat.
to lift weights.
I find the doomsday preppers fascinating because have you ever seen the show Doomsday Preppers?
Yeah.
So at the start of every episode, they go, most people prep because they believe there's going to be a financial collapse and the end of the world, a pandemic, or a nuclear war. So they're the three
Choose
things.
your own adventures.
Yeah, basically they're the three things. I used to go, you're fucking nuts, but when you lay it out like that, a pandemic, financial crisis, and nuclear war, I feel like a lot of them would be like, told you so,
Yeah. Well,
when it happens kind
they're
of thing.
entitled to that moment.
They earned it.
Yeah. Like you can't begrudge them that moment of being like, it's like when you feel like you're the first person who watched Succession or whatever, like you're ahead of the curve.
Right.
Like you want to have that. I was
Yeah,
into
they
it.
deserve it.
I watched
when
the
you-
pilot.
Yeah. When you bang on their bunker.
Yeah.
And they're like, told you, man. You thought I was fucking crazy storing tin soup under my house. Here we are. I'm like, look, well done. And, I can see you're still naked because that was weirdly part of it.
Yeah.
The nudist.
That
I
is
see.
part of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
It is, yeah.
Nudist?
Yeah, because you can tell nudists are like anti-government.
Right. So
By
they're
definition, they're
anti-establishment.
trying to colonize a beach that's...
Right. So there's a bit of a wild, like, doomsday prep, like anti-government, anti-vax, like that kind of vibe.
Yeah. I think with the apocalypse just feels like it's trickled into popular culture now so deeply. Like I saw an ad where it's like an insurance ad and it's just a meteor that's crushing houses and cars.
Yeah, I've
But
seen that.
But
yeah.
in like a fun way.
Right, it's crushing all these things, and then the insurance people turn up and go, "Oh well, you need insurance because an asteroid crushed your house,"
Yeah.
and you think that's preparing us for the inevitable.
When it's a movie, it's fun and games. But when it's like an ad, it just
Right.
feels like it's like normalizing the apocalypse.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that happening now because catastrophes are so common.
Yeah.
They
They should have another ad where it's a new pathogen that's been released,
right,
like an insurance ad.
right,
And it's like hazmats and they show up and like taser the
Right.
dude because he's infected.
right. It's like the happy music, but then
Yeah.
the hazmats turn up and they handcuff him and go, "You're not allowed outside. There's a
Like
pandemic."
they've got a knee on the back of his head. They're
Right.
like, shut the fuck up.
and it's like you're covered by Amy.
Yeah. for the new lab leak.
The next lab leak.
Yeah.
We're all prepping for the next lab leak.
Are you covered for lab leaks?
Yeah, there was a weird one I watched in Doomsday Preppers where the dude was married to a woman who had a twin, identical twin. And he was crawling around the house, trying to sneak in and break into his own house without them knowing. So the point was to test whether they would be able to survive so he puts them through strenuous tests. So in other words, if the end of the world happens, people are going to try and break in. So
Yeah.
I'm going to break in. You don't know when. I'm going to break in, and you better be ready. And then he just disappears and then breaks in at some point.
Jesus.
Yeah, weird relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you get
People will
tied
do
up with this
anything to
guy.
keep the spice alive.
Yeah, you and your sister. It's him and he's living with the sisters, and they're identical. Struck me as a bit odd.
That is bizarre.
It is, hey. People living these lives, especially in America.
So is that like a doomsday compound?
Yeah. No, he had all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
People just get so bored they need to.
Especially in America.
Yeah.
They're like you do you in America. It's cultural.
Yeah, people just. It just feels like an extreme place.
It is an extreme place, yeah.
Like you can be you
Yeah.
to the max
Yeah.
of you-ness.
Yeah. Which kind of is not a way, whereas Scandinavia is the opposite. It's like be a little less you and be more for everyone.
Yeah, the Scandinavian motto is like lagom, which is just keep it, just chill. Like don't try and be a big shot.
Right. Is that true?
Yeah. It's like you can't just be like, you can't just be like eccentric. Like they don't have eccentrics.
They're just all kind of a bit the same.
They all just look like interior designers.
They do. Eh? That's a bit Australian though too, the tall poppy thing,
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
Yeah, I feel like Scandinavians like even more Australian. Like we're a little bit more American than that, hey. We're a little bit more individualistic and like, you know?
More individualistic.
Australia, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas Scandinavia is a little bit more, yeah. Like you'll get a heroin addict and a surgeon living in the same flat.
Yeah. That's the benefits of social democracy.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like so much of wealth is status.
Right.
But if you're a wealthy ophthalmologist and you're in the same building as a meth head in the lobby, do you even want to, do you know, like you can't even differentiate yourself.
Right. You're like, why don't I just be a meth head?
Yeah.
Why bother being a surgeon when I can't even just have a bit of status?
Because we're going to be in the same building.
He's shitting in the lobby and I'm working late to save lives.
Yeah. And we both use the same sauna. Like, is that fair?
We're both paying the same body corporate.
Yeah. Piss at the body corporate meeting.
Fucking stop letting Terry in the cunt.
Yeah.
He fucking trying to get in. We need the fucking security to stop the cunt coming in.
Yeah. So it's like
He's on the body corporate asking for that shit.
you've got Sven and then
Yeah, and then Sven's like, look, I think we should spend fix the infrastructure of the building.
yeah, if there's any way to get him to leave. Like he's drawing a swastika with a crayon on a napkin and passing it to everyone.
The
Like
meth
that's his
head.
contribution.
The meth head.
Yeah. Like people are putting the ideas. The meth head's just got a
swastika
like in a
with a
crayon.
skull and crossbones.
and he's like, thanks, Terry.
Yeah,
For some
good input. Yeah.
The
Oh,
rent's the
shit.
same.
Yeah. Well, I think we should wrap it up. I hope you
That's
enjoyed
right,
that. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.